Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to this ETF2L Season 11 Week 7 matchup of Strong Opinions versus Super Dickman. It's going to be a great matchup here. We'll see if Strong Opinions can hold out as they are currently undefeated in this season. We'll see if they can continue all the way. This might be one of the last matchups of the season prior to playoffs, and it's sure to be a great one as we will be completely on PL Bad Water tonight. I am Sigafoo with Beater to my side and Wiethoofd on camera. How you doing out here, Beater?
I am doing just fine. I am really hoping that this will be like the way we cap off this season and the year. You know, just having an undefeated season going into a new year. Like, that sounds like a good way to end it off, don't you think?
Absolutely. Well, especially with the fact that, like, if they're going to be putting themselves in a really good spot, obviously. I mean, Strong Opinions pretty much cannot. I don't think they can lose the top spot going into the playoffs, which is going to be switched up this year. It's going to be double elimination, is my understanding, rather than the old way where it's like 4v3, and then whoever wins that versus the second, and you kind of move your way up there. But yeah, I mean, in Strong Opinions currently, they've won the last 2 seasons. And so they could be making it a dynasty if they make it 3 in a row of all things. And undefeated on top, that would be amazing. And both of us are kind of coming in here. We're a little bit fresh on the, or not as up to date on the Highlander, but it's still like to see a team playing so well and Strong Opinions is just such a goddamn good team. I've always been really impressed by them. Do you know these teams at all, Peter?
I'm a little bit familiar with the Strong Opinions. I did cast them in a comp earlier, and I know a lot of the players. Like a lot of them are Sixes players, and and a couple of them I just randomly hang out with. So it's probably the team I know the most about. Not that says a whole lot, but it's pretty fortunate that I get to cast them, and they're really good too. So you tend to see them around once the end of the season comes. So they're the familiar faces, the usual suspects, so to speak. So do we want to go through them? I guess I try, and you can. I'm going to go with the ETF2L match page or the team page, and it's a bit memey, so you might have to assist me as I go through this.
I will do my best.
All right. On Scout for Strong Opinions, we have Falash, the Danish sniper. He will be playing Scout, not Sniper. And on Soldier, we have Raptor. On Pyro, we have Steve. On Demoman, we have, is it Ali? Yep, that's a picture of Ali. And then on Heavy, who's Navy Dad 69? Oh, Emilio Estevez. Okay, thank you, Wiethoofd. And on Medic, no, on NG, sorry, we have, I think it's Seal.
Yes.
Cool. And on Medic, we have CJ, the one and only. He's been on this team forever, and he's the leader as well. And then on Sniper, who is the Sniper? Do you know?
That's Der Milchman, yeah.
Der Milchman, okay. All right, and on Spy, we have another Dane, Toast, I think. Or maybe it's not Toast. He was playing in
that is Toast. Yep, that's Toast.
All right, yeah. So he's playing in the warm-up. He's listed as inactive on the roster, but doesn't look inactive to me. He's definitely on the roster. So yeah, we got through that pretty well. With a little help from my friends, I got this. And have they actually gone live?
No, we're still waiting for them to ready up, but we do have 18 in the server. We can go over Super Dickmans. I'll try this, and you can help me out if I get any of these wrong. So it looks like we're going to have, I believe, Spelly on Demoman, Garden Fungus on Pyro, Mayhe? On Scout, Henri on Medic, Burn on Sniper, Kunai should be the Heavy, Dima on Soldier, Z-Man should be their Spy, and Clark on Engineer.
Yes, this matches up perfectly with what is on their team page, so that's a nice change of pace.
People actually aliasing themselves correctly. What world is this? Is this a Blizzard game or some sort?
Yeah, they are live. They have set up and everything. So we're probably going to see some sort of suicide. That's usually what happens. It's just a matter of when does the medic get out there. And you see a direct hit on the soldier, so it looks like they're going to go for the sentry a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically what you're going to have coming out on this first point. The general strategy from the offensive team on the blue side is that you're going to leave the medic in the spawn, as you said, and then you're going to see the team generally try to suicide. And the reason that teams suicide on the offensive side is that they're trying to make the enemy medic pop their Uber. Because the thing is, if you get the enemy medic pop their Uber, then you have 100%, the other medic has 0, so now you have 8 seconds or however long of an invincibility when you go into them, when you try to attack them. That or you take down the sentry gun, which is a little less common, as I have some happy people honking outside. I don't know if you can hear that on my mic. Yeah.
But they're excited. Made his way out there, and look at that. Both medics have popped their Uber here, so there's no Uber force, but both makes just force their Uber, and everyone from the blue team here has been knocked down. So that's Super Dickman's Canona not really making too much headway. The sentry, I don't see it right now, so that has been taken care of. And there's a soldier onto the sniper, but he gets taken down. And another, that was the engineer in the skybox getting taken down there as well. So far a pretty strong hold from Strong Opinions. No, not strong.
You will have to hold...
I am on the wrong...
I was gonna say, I'm not seeing this, what you're talking about, and I was very concerned. I think I'm going to reconnect back up to the STV as we have knock on. That was an amazing radio call, though, for our viewers of another match. There we go. We are going to be starting up here live, though, on the actual server, and hopefully we'll be seeing some of that early play shenanigans, just like what you're talking about.
They're literally going live now.
Yeah.
That was just free of charge.
You had me very concerned there, Beta. That was keeping me on my toes for sure. I was like, oh no. But here we go out as we are going to be starting up, and it looks like it is going to be Strong Opinion starting out on the offensive side, which is generally, I prefer to, or actually, I'm sorry, I generally prefer to start on the defensive side, so I think that might help out Super Dickman's a little bit more. As a sentry gun from Clark is going to be a very aggressive, going to be looking over that cliff, which I generally, I'm not a big fan of that spot. As an engineer, and it's mainly because a direct hit soldier can span that down from the valley area for free. Like he doesn't have to really try to contest, or get that high up to be able to take it down. Though it does cover the edge, it kind of works against you early on in the fight. But we'll see with 16 seconds left on the clock here, how Strong Opinions wants to push this, how they want to come out of the gate early on here. As it looks like also the other interesting thing is there a direct hit on the defensive side is what I'm seeing right now. I think that's a really interesting thing. I'll see if the soldier's going to keep that as he's going to be late to the thing. 7-second respawn.
Yeah, that's a bit of a misplay there. That can't be on purpose. As he was just getting ready to actually do a bunch of air shot there, but the scout goes down right away. And here comes the suicide bomb. The medic takes some damage, but he looks like he will be just fine. And the dispenser goes down, but that's about the amount of the damage that we have. And everyone actually gets peed on, but it looks like it has been fought off just fine by Super Dickmans here.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay coming out of Strong Opinions as you had the Girardi come down. I think it got about 4 or 5 players, as you said. And if the Suicide Wave waited until the Girardi came out, I think we would have seen a much different situation. But we'll see what's going to happen. It's a soldier jumping in. He's going to go for a play as well as a Demoman trying to get it Henri down to half HP. But they are going to defend as the Sentry Gun is alive, and they're cleaning up on the cart once again. The Strong Opinions Strong Opinions not able to have a successful Suicide Wave.
Inia just showing some balls there, just holding onto that Uber. I think a lot of players would have just popped it there when they lost track of that moment, but he just trusted his team and he held onto it. We see the engineer, no, that was the Pyro going onto the cliff there and gets taken down, and another suicide, and there we go, finally the Uber Force comes out. So it took them 3 tries, and the question is, was this too much time? But, they finally got what they wanted, so now it's just all about, can they actually make it work after this?
They should be able to, do this, and we also are playing on the pro version, it looks like, so we'll see how, are we on the pro version? I believe we are, but it looks like the guy's going to be able to keep up, but they got to be careful as they are down 100% Uber, and we're going to see Strong Opinions pushing in right now.
Yeah, here comes the Uber, takes the Demo Man and the Pyro. Pyro just blasting everyone back with the Demo Man, gets taken away, and the Sentry Gun stays strong despite a directed soldier trying to spam it as best they can. Raptor finally does get a kill, and this is looking very precarious for Super Dickman's Canona right now. They've lost their medic, and I think this is where, it's only the Sentry Gun up, and I think they're just going to retreat.
Yeah, they need to get out of there. I mean, that's what the problem is. If you're going to hold in that upper area, I mean, it was great that they got the defense, but now every single player is dead. Not only are they giving up the first point here, but they are also going to be giving up the second because there's no possible way they can defend this. With 9-second respawn on most of their players, the third point might even be a little bit contested. Ollie's going to be camping the spawn door, but they probably could be even walking more forward as Clark just getting up to the front line of the third point now. He's actually going to be playing his gun passively, and we'll see if that's going to be working out for them as the second point should go down in favor of Strong Opinions here shortly. But I got to question the aggression coming out of Predicament after losing their Uber charge on that first point and how it's going to affect them now.
Yeah, the really important question right now is how well can Super Dickman's Canona actually hold on to the third point. That's really the big bottleneck on this map, where a lot of teams struggle to actually push past. And right now, the Sentry Gun is not in a very good position to actually help hold this. Right? If they push down the stairs, there's no Sentry Gun actually just immediately shooting at them. So here we go, they're actually going to Uber in straight away and just taking it in. And we're going to find the Sentry very far back.
Now we'll see if that can help them as Uber Charge is coming out on the defensive side a little bit better, as ultimately he's going to pick up a few frags deep ender as well as Toast going down. We'll see if they can find any more. They're playing so passively. Emilio is just holding onto this cart. The soldier going into the upper areas. Raptor's going to finally be contested as this Heavy's going to be dropping down on the cart, but Ollie putting down a decent amount of damage, continue to do so. He's going to just walk through the cart, and Dalgo is the third point, and Super Dickman is just falling apart at the seams despite picking up the frags. Both medics going down as well.
This is such a huge point right here. I was talking about the third point being very crucial, and there we go. They're going to take back their gun, and they're just going to put it basically what I consider the standard spot, like underneath the catwalk. But right now, the Super Dickman Cannon, actually they lose the last, so it's going to have to leave some big juicy not so spongy people just pushing the cart. So that could slow things down a little bit. But so far it's just really solid pushes around Toast, and this is a backstab there. As both teams are just building Uber right now, and CJ has a small Uber advantage to work with.
Let's see if they can do anything with it right now. They are aggressing on top of the final point. The Cinch Gun is holding right by the combo. I think that's might be a little bit of a misplay, because when you push in, the Cinch Gun right is next to your combo, you tend to go down. But Ali actually gets taken out there by Spelly, and so it's going to slow down the offense, as they did have just a slight Uber advantage, but any advantage they have is not going to be usable, as you do not have your core classes up. But of course, it's not going to matter that much. The respawn waves are not that far. Teleporter's going up for the offense, so we'll be able to get out to the front lines in 3 minutes and 27 seconds for the first 3 points. It's a pretty solid time, but we'll see, as we do have even Uber charges up 100% on each side, how they want to push into this final point.
Yeah, it's all about, it's very difficult to get a force in, but we do have a soldier in. Looks like he's going to try. The demo man jumps in as well, but gets rebuffed pretty solidly. But no, they do actually get out the forcer, and now all of Strong Opinions, they're just going to have to get out as fast as possible. We see the medic holding really far back. CJ not going to overextend himself here, and that was a really solid force. And now it's just, how do you actually push in here, do you think, once you have the advantage?
I mean, once you have the advantage, you want to, they're doing actually what I would probably suggest, which is going through tires. You want to keep your heavy on the upper area. The big thing when it comes to Highlander final pushes is not overextending too fast. You want to be able to take ground slowly and hold it, because you're not going to be able to push the cart in right away. And right now, that Uber is going to be popped off onto the blue side heavy, sitting in the upper area, teleporting the gun back into spawn as the cart's slowly moving up, but no real frags coming out in their favor. Finally, the Pyro should be taken out here on the backside, but the car Mehi doing a good job trying to contest it. Dima is also trying to get onto CJ, who is down incredibly low, but not able to finish it off. Only Kunai alive, as a team wipe is going to be coming out here. She is back up in the stairs, but they're trying to defend this, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah, there's even a soldier just spamming that Raptor, just shutting down one entrance and Toast, camping the other, and that's just a really solid time right there. It's about 6 minutes, a little less. And that's about as fast as you see times in these high-level games. So very strong performance right here from Strong Opinions. It's not impossible for Super Dickman to do it better, but very impressive stuff there. It was just all about, it seemed like they overextended too much there on the first point, and that just snowballed out of control for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I completely agree with you on that idea, is that the first point, they lost their medic's Uber charge, right? They still try to hold in the upper area. I think they should have rotated, instead of holding onto the cliff, holding above the garage, hold it passively. So then, because this is not the pro version, I have now confirmed. And so when you play the non-pro version, you need to be able to back up through the entranceway, because in the pro version you can get out through the gates, but you can't do that in this version. And so then what happened is, because he died so late, particularly the engineer, Clark, died so late on that first point, then he wasn't able to get up in time to build a level 3 cinch gun inside of the window. The third point of Badwater is one of the most broken ones and the most holdable if you can get into the correct position. And so I think there's just, if they just were able to hold on to that first point, or sorry, if they were able to play it a little bit more passively after they lost their Uber charge, I think they would have been in a much better spot. But we'll see what they can do on offense here. They're going down. Strong Pins on defense, working against the 5-minute time they set.
Yeah, remember the Super Dickman, they held up 3 consecutive suicide waves, so let's see if they can actually get it done in just 1 or 2. We will see. Looks like Dima's going to go down straight away, so and the demo man just gets lasered down by the sentry gun. So this first suicide wave has not been a success. And once again, the Girardi comes in after the suicide wave is over. So again, it just seemed like poor coordination right there.
Yeah, and we'll see what they can do. Dur Milchman is eating some direct hit rockets, but you can see the sentry gun is more to where I traditionally see it. But here comes in the Doman. He does get some decent damage onto CJ, gets him down incredibly low enough, and does get the force off after 2 attempts, so this is good. So the cart is a little bit further back than where you want it to be. Clark is going to be finally moving it up, but we'll see what Super Dickmans can do now that they have the advantage.
Yeah, and once again, Clark moving forward there and getting taken down, so no one's pushing the cart either. You kind of want to push you want to push the high ground position and the cart at the same time, and spread them thin as much as possible. But we'll see what they actually decide to push from here. They do have an Uber advantage, but the longer they wait, the less of an advantage they will actually have to work with. That's pretty obvious. But here we go. It looks like they're just going to go in from the cliff. They're just going to have to focus down this Pyro as much as they can. There's even a banner going off here for red.
Yeah, I believe that might be conscious. The gun does go down here. It's going to be helping CJ be able to get out. No, actually, CJ's still in the upper area. They're not giving this up right now, as they did lose a couple players on the pushing side, but just trying to defend against it. But no, Raptor with the black box doing the better against that direct hit, as a cart is going to be stalled out here. And Strong Opinions able to hold on to this first point as Toast picks up one more.
It looks like they've rotated around here to the cliffside. Or not the cliffside, sorry, the slope. And red, like CJ popped his Uber as well. I didn't actually see how he got forced. But so that means that once again Super Dickman have an Uber advantage to work with, but they might just want to push off straight away. As long as the sentry's gone, Blue has an spawn advantage. So it looks like they're just choosing to use it by just overly suiciding in players over and over again. And it's not really working out, it's just kind of buying time. But it looked like finally they might have broken through and gotten enough kills here to push everyone from Strong Opinions back.
Yeah, with only 2 players left alive, actually the spy's going to be dead ring, so it's going to be 3 players left alive, but they are going to finally come down with this point, and I think it was ultimately Strong Opinions just overextending just a bit too much, but this is also going to give Inir a huge Uber advantage right now. He's about 80% and dwindling a little bit out of their favor, but they should be able to easily take off the second point, and Engineer actually goes down, Seal goes down as you said, so that's really going to hurt this third point hold.
Yeah, you really want that Engineer. It was a poor game sense there from what it looked like from Seal, just holding way too far forward, getting taken down. Like his sentry got taken down instantly, and right now it's going to be very difficult to actually hold third. Strong Opinions, they will do it here. They place their medic really far forward in the grenade spam position here, but Dima gets the Uber right now, and it's actually not too successful. They're just going to have to run off. They got bounced a lot by Ali and his stickies there, so a bit of a fluff there on our flop, I should say, on Uber, but so far, yeah, that worked out really well. There's a sword in behind though.
Yeah, and actually the mech did go down, so Ali with a nice picking up of that frag actually ran all the way through the house area to try to take that down, but it's not going to make a huge difference compared to for Strong Opinions, as Strong Opinions is not going to use their Uber aggressively, or that's very uncommon, but with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock, and the ability for Strong Opinions to get set up on this third point, I would say this is pretty much... it's going to be very hopeful for Super Dickmans to even have a chance at this. I mean, they pretty much need to be pushing it ×3 to get it close, but we'll see what they can do as they're starting to work up the cart, but at a 70% disadvantage and a level 3 in the window, this is going to be a challenge for them.
Yeah, they have about 2 minutes to do this, and that's not a lot of time. They want to take their time here, but they just don't have it, so I think we're about to see what's basically a foolish push. And so far, they're not doing it. The sniper goes down as well, so no cheeky picks coming out from him. He might have been trying to do a little bit. Toast, just either way, he's been on the roof for pretty much like the last 1.5 minutes, just raining down pot shots over and over again. And look at that, Strong Opinions just pushing forward and getting all the picks right now. And this is just the cherry on top of a good hold.
Yeah, Toast, I mean, that is just one of the most broken spots, and the best way to abuse a broken weapon of Deadringer and Ambassador, and he's doing it so well right here. Is actually Ali does get picked off in this early Uber charge coming out through the house area. Steve Pander's going to be backing up here. Sentrykin also did get taken out early on there, and so that's going to help them out as they're going to try to push this, but Kunai does go down as well as Spelly, so the core class is being taken out, and Strong Opinions is going to be holding tight. But the biggest difference here is, and I want to point out about the way Strong Opinions is holding this versus the way that Super Dickmans held it, is that they actually have their heavy in the upper area, which I think is a really big difference. You need to make sure you take of that upper area by that Sentrykin, because if you lose control of that, that's how you lose that point, because you lose the high ground. And Strong Opinions is doing a really good job of maintaining it.
Yeah, we see the banner coming in from Raptor. It just wore off, but it did quite a lot of work, and it allowed him to just hold it here and go. People are just beginning to taunt, and it's definitely over, so this is just garbage time. See if Toast can do something cool. I wanted to see him jump off the roof, do a 360, and just headshot the medic. And he does get a headshot. No, that was Dimmelman, sorry. Wrong guy. But Ubers have come in here. You know, you want to maximize your points. And this is just basically hopeless. 1 second, boom. Round over. Really strong first round.
Yeah, Strong Opinions living up their name there, as they're going to be taking it this first round, meaning they get a minimum of 2 points. And Super Dickman just struggling. I mean, just plain and simple. I mean, offense, they looked terrible for the most part, but I mean, they're working up against about a 6-minute time, which is, you know, not a lot, but still, I mean, you kind of expect better of them, especially they had some decent opportunities on the offensive side to maybe push it a little bit more aggressively. But I mean, what did you see out of Super Dickmans that where they kind of faltered either on offense or defense, Peter?
The defense was definitely the biggest issue for them. I think a lot of the mistakes on the offense was kind of dictated by the fact that they didn't have time to properly set up. So I'm pretty curious to see what they're going to do now that they're going to be attacking first, and they will have time. They're not going to have a clock breathing down their neck. So that's the first part of it. And then the second part is to just really sync up properly, and then just make sure that you're all on the same page and you're focusing the same targets and just moving as a unit. Because right now it kind of seems like everyone a little bit doing their own thing. Like we need to see more teaming up with the spy, sapping things, and then everyone jumping in, and that kind of good teamworky stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in particular, the offensive side, like you're talking about, is there was a point in the game where we, Seal, the engineer for Strong Opinions, was picked off. He made a misplay. He came out of the shutter. He should have just ran from spawn to third point. And you had a 70% Uber charge in the favor of Super Dickmans. There was no engineer who's going to set up in the window. And I think what the problem was is that Super Dickmans, they just got so like, oh my god, we have this great opportunity. We better go take advantage of it. Let's go run through. Let's go to this third point. But then as soon as they ran through, they only had maybe their soldier and their demo man, I think, who were actually in on the Uber charge. What happened to be there? They pushed through a tiny little choke. There was one pyro who was un-Ubered, and guess what happened? 2 projectile classes got completely stuffed during the Uber charge. It was completely wasted. And what could have been a huge swing of momentum in the favor of Super Dickman ultimately worked against them. And it was kind of like what happened in the first point with Dradi again. The aggression was too quick. They needed to wait for their team to catch up to them. They needed to bring a scout in on the Uber or some hit scan to help deal with the pyro, because you know what you're pushing through. You know where the pyro is going to be in this situation. Like, this isn't anything new in Highlander for positioning.
It's like the most overplayed map in all of Highlander.
Right. And so it's like one of these things where it's like, I think, and it's a problem I think a lot of teams have, and it's not just something with Super Dickmans, is that you get so focused on what you want to do rather than trying to take in perspective of what'd be the best thing. But here we go as we go into the second round, and we'll see how this can be out. We should see Strong Opinions starting out on defense then. So it'll be interesting to see how Super Dickmans does starting out on offense when they're not working against the time. Are they going to be able to play any better?
That is the question. We definitely want to see them just have a little more of a cool head in the game. Just don't rush things. Actually, just move as a unit, and you'll be fine. I will say, Super Dickman, they had a better suicide round than Strong Opinion, so they have that going for them. So they need to repeat that. But we'll see where Seal, he puts his sentry a lot further forward, right? The closer you put your sentry to the cliff, the easier it is for a soldier to pick it off. So he's definitely put it in a way that's very difficult for a soldier to spam it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I like to place my gun early on. So I kind of have 2 different positions. I like to play my sentry gun, and this first point is it's that close during the early suicide waves, and the main reason you have that there is just because it's harder for the enemy team to pick off, and then you move it closer to the cliff once the cart gets to the other side to help cover that. Now we have seen both soldiers. I mean, particularly we didn't see the soldier for Strong Opinions focus down the gun early on. It kind of seems like both these teams are more focusing on suicide waves than about the sentry guns, but that's also not working against them. But I guess they're coming down. Strong Opinions is going to be on the defensive side. We'll see what they can do if they can close this out 2-0 and come away with a perfect season as we get started up here on PL Badwater.
Yeah, we can see the demo man just waiting in spawn. He's getting ready to jump, and here we go. Just a little bit of a oh my god, he just gets suspended in the skybox there. The dispenser gets pretty weak, and now it's actually a heavy, very close, but he gets taken down as well. So a pretty good suicide wave, it just barely didn't work. They got a lot of people weak, but they didn't quite manage to pick off any of the very key classes. They did get the heavy, so there's no heavy for a while. So that could make the second suicide wave, but we'll see how it works out.
As the Demoman, again, Spelly going in here completely low, does get CJ to be forced off there. CJ down at least to about half HP and got a little bit scared. I don't think he realized that nobody else was going to be able to help out that Demoman. He probably would have been able to survive it, but that would have been taking some cojones to do so. And right now, that's going to leave a nice Uber advantage in the favor of Super Dickmans as the direct hit is coming out, trying to focus down the sentry gun, but because of the spot, it's incredibly hard to aim from long range. But it looks like they're just going to walk up this valley side, and this is actually really good because it's going to pinch off Strong Opinions if they play it well. CJ down incredibly low is going to be able to barely escape with this life. No, he gets taken out as Uber comes off onto Mayhe.
Yeah, and Mayhe, wow, gets taken out by Ali there. But overall, an incredible good push here from Super Dickmans, Kanonen. They're really going forward here. Milkman actually playing really far forward. He wants this demo man, but he might just get taken down in return. Yeah, there we go. A nice pipe from Spelly. So that was a very successful first point push right now. And we see once again the Seal trying to hold very close to the choke here. This time around it might just work, as the other engineer was too far forward along with this heavy.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was also is Inir actually did go down from Raptor right after that push. So since both megs do have even Uber charge, they have a chance to kind of passively hold the second point. You very rarely ever see a team on the defensive side actually hold the second point properly on the roof just because it's such a risky play. But what you will see is what Strong Opinions is doing right now, which is they have their flank classes of Scout and Soldier holding on the roof side just to kind of contest it. Engineer's going to be playing passively, the medic's playing passively as well. And the reason is you can get out alive to third point guaranteed, but you can maybe just deny it like maybe like 10-20 seconds off the clock from the offensive team.
Yeah, Super Dickman have a massive on the roof here. They're just spamming down the sentry as much as they can, but so far they haven't quite got this, but they've been doing a lot of work so far. And there was actually a flank there from Steve, I think, or maybe I'm wrong, but actually the Ubers come out from CJ. And there we go, the counter Uber comes in. It's only on Kunai though, and a heavy is pretty slow for class, so he's not going to be able to chase down anything. He's just going to get the sentry, and now going to see the third point set up as normal. The sentry gun is not going to be up for quite a while, but the engineer is working on it.
That was a huge force from Strong Opinions on Inir. Inir, I mean, if he held on to the Uber charge, they would have been able to push onto that third point. Now they're down about 20% advantage. They're, you know, as you said, they popped it onto Kunai, the heavy. That's not going to be able to do anything. But really, if they did not get that force off in that situation, right now they have 100%. And they'd be able to push into him and try to take this third point. Well, now they're going to have to wait to build up charge to even have a chance as Third Mulchman takes down Mayhe with a nice headshot. And right now, it's kind of a question of how can Super Dickmans do this? Struggled on the third point before. We'll see if they'll have a better chance. 2 minutes and 28 seconds, not a bad time for the first 2 points, but I don't know how they're going to be faring on this third point.
Yeah, it looks like they're deciding not to rush it. I do like that. You know, they're just taking their time and they're going to try to sync up with each other. Looks like Spelly might just be taking in an Uber here. It should be very difficult for them. We see the medic holding right next to the window here. That's kind of a new take on the forward hold. We do have quite a lot of action going on, and the Milkman has gone down, so that's going to mean that a sniper could peek out a lot and force people back, you know, so he could take down the heavy if he gets into the right position here. And Dima is trying to take that whole area. And Seman with no EUs takes down Ali as well, so no, there's no demo, and Uber has been forced as well on CJ, and this is just a really good situation for Super Dickman. They're just pressuring their way in here.
They're doing a great job, and actually Spelly with a nice jump over. The sentry gun's being focused on. Finally does get taken out. CJ trying to run away with his life, but he's not going to be able to do that as he gets taken out with the help of Mayhe running all the way through, going all the way, trying to take down Raptor. Does take him out as the third point goes down in the favor of Super Dickmans. That was a beautiful, slow, just kind of edging push coming out of Super Dickmans. Just exactly what you wanted to see. And we'll see what they can do. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. They're looking great so far through the first 3 points.
The sentry gun is still only level 1 as well, so if they just push fast enough, it's not even going to be level 3. We'll see. They're only on 60% Uber right now, but look at that. So many picks right now. Like, they're just really pressuring into this ramp room right here, where there's only a heavy and a medic, but those guys are going to have to rotate around in order to stop the cart from being pushed here. And this is just such a good push right now. Mayhe doing a great job of just staying on the cart, just dodging all this damage, and even gets out alive. And Emilio Esteves has gone down as well. So far, this is looking really good for Super Dickman. And, man, do you think they're going to be able to take it all the way?
We'll see if they can do just that. They did pop the supercharge, but they're not playing too much with it. But right now, they are trying to get their players into the positions to try to cover the spawn. Spelly's holding upper right. You have the heavy Kunai. Actually gets taken out. Toast with a beautiful double backstep. CJ jumping in, as well as Raptor. So many players suiciding in onto the car, but Dima standing onto it. The Scout's going to try to defend it, but it's not going to be enough here as Super Dickmans pushes it in. What an incredible defense. So close for Strong Opinions to defend that, but 5 minutes and 38 seconds. That's better than the first round.
They just won up the the best team in the league right there. That's gonna feel really good. So if they can just defend as well as they did on the first round, they're gonna take this to a third round. So a great push right there by Super Dickman Kanonen. And I just love saying Super Dickman's Kanonen. It's the best damn name in all of Highlander, and maybe even TF2.
Just so damn good. Just so damn good. Well, I mean, it's as good as their time. I mean, 5 minutes and 38 seconds is just damn impressive in Highlander. I mean, the 6-minute time was definitely good, but I mean, I don't know, like every second counts, and it's just I'm actually just really surprised, and I think it kind of it goes back to that 3rd-point hold coming out of Strong Opinions, where the medic CJ was holding up on that kind of what do you want to call it, the platform area, and I think if he was playing a little bit more passively as soon as his team was getting the enemy team was getting aggressive into him, he would have been okay, but. I don't know. It was kind of interesting hold style. I don't think it was wrong, but I think once the enemy team gets aggressive enough, it kind of works against you. But we'll see what they can do. As Super Dickmans is going to be on the defensive side, defending against the 5-minute and 40-second time. And we'll see what they can do as the gates are going to be coming down.
Yeah, we see the easy to pick off sentry once again. It does shut down anyone going through here, but Demo Man jumps in. That's Ali. Gets taken down pretty quickly. He tried. It's Toast. He's going to sneak his way in here. Here comes the soldier as well, and he has the same fate. Normally you want to have your soldier and the demo man in at the same time, but they come in one by one and they get shoved back one by one. Raptor actually survives. He just instead of going to dying and respawning, he's just going to be sent back with 22 HP and respawn.
Yeah, and I mean, here we go. It's finally a coordinated wave. It's going to be coming in.
Whoa,
Pyro as well.
the
So
medic
a
goes
huge
down.
plays coming out.
Wow, that was the Raptor with the... Well, what's that even called? The Beggar's Bazooka. Taking down the medic there. And that was just a beautiful coordination, and it looks like Super Dickman, they will just back off here. Going to a few stragglers forward here, but the rest of them, they have got way out. The sentry was not teleported back, so that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, are they going to go back in with the banner here?
And CJ did go down there, but both mechs now down, in here just got taken out as well. Ali's trying to keep his team forward, but he's going to eventually get taken out by Mayhe. We got the Black Box Soldier finally going down. Mayhe going on to the Heavy, trying to 1v1, but that's not going to help out. Slash is able to come in there and defend this. The first point will go down in the favor of Strong Opinions, as Super Dickman have to be a little bit questionable as they try to defend that first point. I really do not think that was a situation to do so. I mean, obviously, you did take out the enemy medic, but you're still going to be fighting against high ground, and ultimately it worked against them, and they're now at about a 40% dis-add. As here comes another suicide wave in from Raptor, trying to find something, but not able to find anything besides just a little bit of damage, but no kills secured.
Yeah, I don't think Super Dickman is actually committing to actually holding second here. So, you know, this looks really bad, but they're really just setting up for third. You know, because that is the big choke point on this map. You can really just buy so many minutes right here, but so far I actually think Strong Opinions are faster than Super Dickman's was, but it's all going to come down to this third push. The sentry gun in the window, it's only level 2. Can it actually shoot out the window when it's level 2, or does it need to be level 3?
It can if it's properly placed. If it's close enough to the edge, it will cover down. It actually looks like it's a little bit too far back, but here we go. Ubercharge is coming out from the offensive side. The red one's going to be put onto the Pyro, being able to try to air blast them back at about 30% better. So it's going to do work, but actually the Pyro does get taken out. So it's going to, any kind of repush coming in here is going to be able to get through the gates. As another pick is going to be happening. There's only 4 players left alive on the defensive side, and Super Dickman is just crumbling at the bits right now. 3 minutes on the clock, and the third point is going to go down in the favor of Strong Opinions.
And Kunai is just stranded right here. He's going to get picked down. He's actually going to fight an engineer that, yeah, see how that's not going to work. But no, the Heavy is still stuck behind lines, and unless he gets in the flank of a lifetime, it's not going to work out. But so far, it's actually looking really good. It finally gets taken down by Thalash. But a pretty heroic hold right there. As Pyro goes forward, misses all his reflex. And so far, this is a very aggressive hold right now for Super Dickman. I think they feel like they didn't hold it well enough, so now they're trying to buy some time. And it's very risky, but so far it's working out, although Dima takes a headshot. So might have to retreat all of the team here.
I mean, the biggest thing right now is you got to make sure that you try not to take any bad suicides, because Dima just went down on the flank. Actually killed himself of all things, but he's on a 20-second suicide, or sorry, 20-second respawn wave, which is a huge deal against the offense. There's actually a lot of pressure coming out onto the car. Does take down the Heavy as well as one more, but Toast picking up a fright, takes actually down the medic, and that's huge play right there, as that's going to give a big advantage right now to CJ, and they might just continue to try to push this for free on the cart.
Yeah, if you have a heal advantage, might as well use it while you can. And it looks like they're not quite going to put the heals on the cart. They actually just jump in and soldier very aggressively. He's gonna just go into the map room and secure that. And that's pretty important too. Like, holding the map room is a very important position to hold because it gives you a lot of opportunities. Toast is still causing ruckus here as the heaviest on the card finally gets taken down. And looks like this whole push right here for Strong Opinions quite not good enough. I'd say they're basically all down, and CJ was one of them. So a good hold here from Super Dickman's Kanonen, and they can set up once again.
Yeah, that was coming in from Mayhe, the scout, who was able to get a flank from the tire side, went straight onto CJ, and was able to take him down in a 1v1. A little bit of a misplay coming out of Strong Opinions because he was actually looking at CJ for quite a while, and nobody was able to help him out. Toast does get killed there by Dima. Dima has to make sure to be careful to keep his life. He's holding up in that map room side right now with 57 seconds left in the clock. The cart rolling backwards. Strong Opinions only has one more push, but they're down about 30%. So they're gonna have to wait even another 5 to 10 seconds before they can even try to work their way in here. And once they push in, they need to get onto the cart. Here comes Raptor as well as Ali. This is a suicide wave, but I'm sure it's a little bit late. They do get the pop off onto in-ear, but will they have enough time to even re-push after this?
That is a good question. They're going really far forward. They're just getting as much ground as possible. Looks like they decide against it and go back here. The Milkman is very far forward. He might get caught up. Yeah, there we go. So Sniper down. That's a really important pick. And the Pyro as well. So a lot of people have gone down. Let's just hope that the resupply is fast enough. But they have to go now. They have the full advantage, and I don't think they're going to waste the time. No, just pop it right away. Now just have to get on the cart.
14 seconds left on the clock, and it's slowly ticking down. Even if they had ×3, I don't think it'll be enough. They're going to try to get some frags, and this is looking kind of decent for them. The Sentry Gun is going to actually stay alive on the backside. Great job from the Engineer keeping it up. 1 second, and there you go. This is going to be the round for Super Dickmans, as they're going to take a round off of Strong Opinions and potentially take the first win away from Strong Opinions as well, as that was a pretty damn good round out of them, especially coming out on that final point.
Yeah, I do believe so far they're tied, right? So this is... I'm not actually sure how the scoring works, but I'm pretty sure they get points now, right?
Yes,
so they've taken their first points off of Strong Opinions. That's a good sign going into the playoffs, I'd say. That should definitely send some messages to the other teams that, hey, we came here to play. You cannot count us out, no matter what you think. You know, we might be fourth right now, but we may just be the second best or even the best.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely looking incredibly strong. In particular, I just gotta really question the decision out of Strong Opinions. I mean, they had even Uber charge at the time they went for the suicide wave in. Like, they got exactly what they wanted out of the suicide wave, which was the force out of Veneer, right? I mean, a frag would have been better, but of course, just even getting the force out of him is pretty much the best they could hope for. But then you have literally like 30 seconds to work with to push that car, even with 100% Uber advantage, after the respawn wave comes in. Like, for as good of a team as Strong Opinion is, I'm just incredibly surprised they went for that play, because you needed everything to go right, and it even did, and it wasn't good enough for them to be able to push that card, versus if they just went for 100% Uber push and try to win that fight together.
Yeah, if a successful play is not good enough, it's probably not a good play. You know? Like, it was just a bad decision overall, I think. But I don't think they quite realized how little time it was, or maybe they just underestimated the respawns, or they thought they could get away with it. But either way, they couldn't. But just once again, it was just the offense there from Super Dickman that really pressured Strong Opinions, and it seems to be a theme so far that, like, the team that sets the first really fast time just pressures the other team into making bad pushes and bad decisions. Like, that has to be a bad decision under pressure.
Yeah, I agree. And the big thing I want to see for Super Dickmans going into this third round, and the thing that you really need to figure out, is how to hold on to that third point. They have not, for the first 2 rounds, they have not had a solid third point hold. And like, this map is almost all about the third point. Like, first point, who cares? Second point, who cares? But the third point is where you need to make your stand. And when it comes to that, and it just seems like they're not getting their gun up in the window in time, or I think last round they did, but it got taken out, and their hold is just kind of a little bit all over the place. Like, they need to make sure they get people in that upper area. We are going to be starting out here on the golden cap round, whatever you want to call it. And this is going to be interesting, as Strong Opinions is playing not for their season, but at least to have an undefeated season. And it looks like it's going to be Strong Opinions going to be starting out on offense, which is, I believe it was actually the Super Dickman's choice. I'd have to double check in chat there if they did choose that. But it's interesting if Super Dickman did choose to... I guess, no, they're starting out on defense, so that actually makes complete sense. What am I saying? I was talking about that earlier. I'm getting confused myself. But yeah, what are you looking forward in this final round here, Peter?
Well, it's interesting, right? Like, I think we both agreed early on that being on the defense first is an advantage because then you know how much time you have to work with. But so far, the offense has had the most success. So that's pretty interesting to me. But what I'm really looking forward to is what happens after the first point falls. That seems to be like the really key moment where Super Dickmans have failed to push third, and Strong Opinions have succeeded in pushing third, like just off of that. So I think that's a really key point here. And Super Dickmans so far have looked kind of weak in transition, but when they did win, they were good in transition. So, you know, the one time it did work, it really worked. So that's what I'll be looking for sure, because, you know, the first point is basically all about tragedy, and then third point is all about despair as you push. Okay, here we go.
Right now, the Gates are down. Strong Opinions starting out on the offensive side. We'll see what they can do. Steve Panda is going to go down here early on. The first suicide wave. That was he did find the trap, so he kind of had a little bit of bomb. But you can see actually here, Inir's actually being a little bit clever. He's not standing where anybody thinks he is. He's actually standing down by the med pack, by the teleporter. And so the suicide wave just came in, but it actually only took out the dispenser because that's not where Inir was. That was so a nice little mix up there coming out as Super Dickmans on this first point.
Yeah, the card is even being contested really well here as well. So far it's just pretty much flawless hold from Super Dickman. They lose a couple of days here. They lost the scout and their soldier, and those are good DM classes, but so far it's just really working out here. And we have another suicide wave. Both Demo Man and Soldier link up really well here, but so far Ania is just not even close to dying. He hasn't taken a single point of damage, it seems. And you know, once again, it takes 3 to 4 suicide rounds. And what do? At some point, they're going to have to just send in CJ with the Uber, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You just go and you just trade Ubers. I mean, the thing is that you want to, as long as you can take down the Cinch Gun, you're going to be at an advantage. But here comes a third suicide wave in. Actually, Nier went back up to the top, and he's going down incredibly low. He surfs onto the med pack. Huge play coming out of Nier, and that's going to keep that 100% charge. What a play coming out of the medic. Beautiful surf.
Absolutely amazing play by Nia. They're just really carrying his team. At this point, right, like, I think this is where they go, yeah, send in CJ, send in the cavalry. Let's get some Ubers up in this. As Toast is going to continue to be annoying here. But let's see, they're going to go in through Cliffside. Actually, CJ has dropped down, so this is a bit of a weird position. Like, they're on the low line right now, so they're just going to back off. That was really weird. Did he fall down by accident or something?
I'm not exactly sure why he dropped down. I was looking for that myself. I didn't see an explosion that pushed him down there, but maybe it happened by accident. We do see, looks like Super Dickmans, they did lose their sentry gun here, but the Lash is behind them. He's going to get caught. I'm sorry, that's Toast who's going to get caught out there, was trying to make a play. As the cart's going to go down this first point, but I don't think that's a misplay coming out of Super Dickman. It's kind of hard to hold that upper area, and I believe if they had their teleporter up there, maybe they would have had a chance, but we'll see what they can do as they're coming up onto the second point. But 2 minutes to the first point is pretty solid.
Soldiers in onto Medicare. Raptor doesn't quite succeed, but you know, I really like this, right? They've struggled with the transition play, and they just go, okay, let's just make sure we have a good transition. And they lose the first point in 2 minutes. That's pretty good. That's actually a really good time to hold the first point, and then they're going to set up a guaranteed really strong hold here on third, which they've struggled to set up in time. So I think this is just adjusting to the match overall, and it's really good play by Super Dickman here.
And Burn picks up a headshot onto Milchman, so that sniping duel is going to favor the defensive side a little bit longer here, but here comes a Ubercharge coming out from Strong Opinions. Going to be just the Lash trying to lead it forward, but he gets popped back up into the air as Raptor trying to work his way into the upper side, but he gets easily taken out, but the Demoman does go down, as well as the Soldier. So no demolition classes here for the defensive side, but we'll see what they can defend as Q-Knight goes down as well. The combo classes are being cleaned up. They do at least pick up the Pyro. The Sentry Gun is still alive in the upper window, but Strong Opinions might be able to continue to push this slowly.
They have such a huge man advantage right now. It's basically only the Sentry. The Sentry is annoying, but now they've got a Soldier up on the high ground with a Scout. Yeah, there we go. They're just going to retreat here, even just teleporting the gun out. And just once again, I feel like Super Dickman, you know, they're kind of failing these third holds. I've never seen third just consistently fall so fast, but at least this time around, they've managed to retreat pretty well. But this might just not be it for them. There's so little presence for Super Dickman right now, and Strongpin, they're pushing into last.
Yeah, I mean, those long respawn waves are working against the defensive side right now as they're just getting players up, but with the medic and the engineer getting up right now, I don't think they're going to have a chance. He probably needs to switch off to mini sentries as the force does come out onto CJ. He did have to pop his supercharge to make sure he got kept alive. Ali's trying to push into that corner. He does pick up at least 1 kill onto Spelly, who's down for another 10 seconds. We'll see if they can hold on to this the rest of the way, as Raptor is doing a good job holding that upper area, but we'll see what can happen now. It's in here going to go down again.
Really crucial pick here. Now the cart is being stacked as people are just standing on it. Some of them are covered in Girardi, however. The heavy is in the staircase, but I don't think he's quite getting any kills, and there's even a spy looking for him, but no! The crossfire is too strong right now for Super Dickmans. They've held it off so far, but Emilio's gonna jump down here once again and try to put on some pressure. And this is just back and forth right now. The Pyro's on the point, gets taken down once again, and this once again looks like Super Dickman has stabilized, but there is a spy around it. This card is so close that a spy can definitely backcap this.
Yeah, that's one thing that Super Dickman will have to make sure to keep somebody on it. At least, if nothing else, you want to make sure that you start to let the cart roll backwards, because a good thing for Toast to do here is just to die on the cart, just to stop it from rolling backwards. Clark is only on mini centers right now. We'll see what he can do, but actually, Mayhe goes on 23-second respawn wave. Every death on the defensive side is really going to hurt your team. You need to make sure that you keep your life. As looks like Amelia, as well as the Pyro, is going to be jumping down. They're going to be running into the stairwell as 100% charge coming out from CJ, jumping down, trying to do as best they can, and they're picking up the frags that they need.
That was a really big Uber right there. It just really got the work done, and there we go. Like, is this even faster than the first 2 rounds? Seems like they just get better and better these times.
I think it's literally 1 second better. I think it was 5 seconds and 38 seconds. 5 minutes and 38 seconds for the second round. This is 5:37, so yeah, it's kind of interesting, as you're talking about before, is, you know, yeah, and I would agree with you that generally having the defensive side is better to start out with, but every team that has started on defense has been terrible, and that continues its trend as Super Dickman just gets rolled over. And I mean, if you think about this, they had a 2-minute and change hold on the first point alone, so that means they gave up the rest of the points in less than 3 minutes. The third and last point, which are very holdable, were given up in like less than a minute apiece. That's pretty bad from the defensive side, but we'll see what they can do, as they did set up a pretty close time to this. But when you know that you have this much time, you play a lot. You can play a lot safer. You know, you don't have to play so aggressively. But I mean, what do you think the chances are here for Super Dickmans? Do you think they'll be able to do it, or do you think this will be yet another win for Strong Opinions?
If I had to guess, I'd say it's a win for Strong Opinions, but you know, you can never write out Super Dickmans. They've definitely shown that they can do some really clutch things, and these suicide waves have been absolutely strong. Still, the most baffling thing is that they retreated from first. They basically gave it up for free to be able to get a good third hold, and then they didn't have a good third hold. That's kind of a bit of a tragedy there. Once again, the sentries are now hard to get position, and the suicide wave is very slow. It's a slow burn right now. You can see a deflect kill here on the engineer, but so far no flying demo men have come in. Kind of a different approach right now, and it's just even the card has kind of been pushed very slowly. So I guess that's just a slow burn.
Yeah, imagine right now with Super Dickmans on the offensive side. Here we go, Spelly finally getting a suicide wave in, but it's a very half-hearted one, not even able to get to the enemy team. I have to imagine that the Mumble environment inside of the offense is just a little bit in despair. I mean, you're like, all right, yes, we're going to take down Strong Opinions, we're going to do it, and then you give up a 5-minute and 38-second time. Like, it's just, you know, you gotta imagine that they're just maybe a little bit deflated, and it's kind of showing early on here as they're just struggling to take ground. Finally, the cart is going to come through the tunnel side. Mayhe going to try to win that 1v1, does do that as well. It takes down the Lash as well. So it's a pretty good job here, and we'll see what they can do is with no flank classes up right now.
Yeah, Clark actually did a ton of work there. He just pulled so many people back and distracted for the scout to actually kill them. So that was definitely a bright spot right there. But so far, just the sniper duel is being won by the Milkman, so he's just shutting down the slope area. I'm not actually sure what that's called, but so far, you know, the soldiers just spamming from it, and this is just so slow. I feel like Ania needs to go into Zuba very soon, because they're not really sending suicide waves at all, and just CJ is just feeling way too comfortable at this point, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is that Super Dickmans was consistently working with the suicide waves. They were working for them. The gun should finally go down here, and we'll see what they can do as CJ is now caught up here alone.
Yeah, he's very much caught. He's actually been blasted away from the heavy. Finally does save him.
The cart is going to try to work their way up there. Sorry, that's all good. It's actually, Anir goes down. And both medics are down, but the first point will go down in the favor, finally, of Super Dickmans. But with 3 minutes and 28 seconds, they're going to have to run through the rest of the points to have a chance.
Well, this is about the time it took for Strong Opinions to get all the last points, so it's very doable right here. We don't see a sentry up quite yet. So far, it's just the dispenser going up in the stairwell, but the rest is not up to speed. And it might just be an idea to just push off Ubers, because neither team has an Uber right now, and they're not even close. So if you just do a slow push and you win that push, then you get the point, because Ubers will not at some point kick in if you do that kind of push.
Well, as we are getting set up here, Strong Opinions onto this third point, second point already taken down, working their way through. Both medics less than 100%, so we'll see what they can do. CJ getting back up to where he was holding before. Actually, he's holding a little bit more passively than last time, where he's holding by the window. Now he's getting back into that position, so we'll see how they want to work this. But they're kind of doing it slowly, and Spelly does get taken out there as well as Zeman. So it's working against them, or not having the sniper up there for the offense is going to hurt them.
Yeah, they're just trying to take the house right now. It looks like that has finally been cleared out, so that's always a really fast way to get to the medic right away. And, you know, it's not a good place to push, but it's a very fast one. So, you know, you have instant access to the medic, and it looks like Soldier and Demo Man will try to jump up and take the high ground here. They get rebuffed pretty solidly there by the heavy on the high ground. That heavy on the high ground is just so strong, and here comes the Uber in on the cart.
And it's going to be a little bit better for the defensive side. Ali trying to get some stickies down on cars. Slash is going to try to clean up as well. Does take down one of the Pyro. We'll see if they can do anything else. Clark, incredibly aggressive here, is able to get CJ down and low as Spelly is able to clean it up. The Lash pushing in, but Spelly is able to take him out. But we still have Emilio as well as the Engineer in the upper area, and that's so hard to take down. Ali as well as Raptor helping clean up, and it was looking somewhat decent for Super Dickman. Just gets completely cleaned up as they did not take down the flank side classes, and that's why taking control of that upper area during your pushes is so crucial.
Yeah, it really just allows you to dictate any kind of engagement that you want and who to shoot at. So Super Dickman is left here to start over, and they have 1 minute and 20 seconds, and when you have that kind of time, that means you just have to push. Like, there's really no two ways about it here. You can't wait for Uber, you just have to go. So let's see where they go from. Looks like the medic is holding close to the house right now, but they're not really pushing yet. I feel like they've been so slow to push here, even though they knew they had not very much time to go with, and so many people just got picked off. So now that push is just suicide. And like, as much as Kunai just speaks, it's just a bad idea. Toast even comes in from behind, just swoops in and gets off another pick. And this is just despair coming in for Super Dickman.
Flash and Raptor were doing work as well as with Toast, who is standing in the back area. As the flanks were just doing a great job of controlling that and slowly picking up some frags. Burn going down again, losing that 1v1 against Milchman. They're going to try to push up the card here, but I think it's a little bit too late, as it is going to be Kritzkrieg coming out here, but Kritzkrieg into Ubercharge. Guess who's going to win that battle? And it's going to be Strong Opinions holding on to this point so easily with 18 seconds left onto the clock. This is garbage time. Strong Opinions has won it, essentially, and they're going to be undefeated throughout this entire season.
Yeah, they did lose points, if I understand the scoring system correctly.
Yes.
I'm not sure I do, but yeah, definitely a very strong showing here coming in from Super Dickmans. They definitely showed that they came to play, and you know, they are a contender. I don't think 1 point will get them anything in the standings. I'm trying to look for it. No, they needed 3 or 4 points to get extra.
Yeah. Yep. So they're going to pick up 2 points today, but that, as you said, that's not going to be enough to move them anywhere up in the table. And so actually, we'll see a repeat of this. If my understanding is correctly, it should be Strong Opinions versus Super Dickman in the playoffs, which will be happening more than likely after the start of the new year. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break before we come back with the playoff run, which will be a great one for sure. As it's going to be double elimination, so it's going to be just that many more games, whereas before was only, I think, 2-3 games that were played in the playoff run. Now it'll be a lot more, which will be extra nice. But congratulations again to Strong Opinions for picking up that win. But Peter, what were kind of the final thoughts or kind of things that you saw kind of coming into that final round, or the things that stood out to you?
I feel like Super Dickman, they were just a bit too slow in the final one. And they definitely wasn't their transition play, but it was just not enough. Super Dickman, they just really had some standout performances with people doing so much work. I think Toast went 18-3 on the final one. So he was just doing so much work, just shutting down so many plays before they could even happen, and just hard to actually come back from that. But very, very good series overall. I'm very happy I actually got to watch this as my annual cast of Highlander. Good stuff. Yeah, what did you notice?
I didn't even realize that Toast went 18-3. God, Spy's broken. That's what I noticed. Man, I loathe Deadringer Ambassador and being able to stand on top of that second point, and I think Toast is a great example of that, doing absolute work that game. Just an exceptional Spy, and continues to do so. The big thing, too, is also the sniper duel going in the favor of Milchman in that final round. Pretty decisively so, 14 frags versus only 6 to burn. So a lot better in that way. As well as pretty much every, kind of matchup was better for the defensive side, which, would make sense to some degree that they did ultimately win it. But still, you wouldn't expect it to be so utterly drastic between these two teams, especially after kind of the fight that we saw coming out of Super Dickmans. But overall, a good game, and I'm excited going into this new year, as we will be covering so just got official word. We will be covering the playoffs at the start of next year on BlackOut Gaming. So make sure you follow, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to make sure you tune in for that time. Beater, any kind of final shout-outs you want to give out here before we cut it off?
Yeah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Remember to buy gifts. I know I haven't even started as normal. And, just have a good one. We'll see you all next year.
And it should be a good one. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out here. I am Sigafoo with Wiethoofd on camera, and Beater to my side. It's been a great cast of BlackOut Gaming. And again, make sure you come out here for playoffs, which will be after the new year. So have a good one, and have a great night.